Yeah, welcome to Positivity is the way to go. He is a financial guru, and he know everything financial, budgeting, and he's a good guy. And I've been knowing him for a while. Welcome to my guest today, Richard Friesen. Welcome to the show, man. Good to see you again. Been too long.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And so looking forward to digging down a little bit deeper into the sense of our relationship with money and finances. So let's go.
Yeah, we also gonna talk about little God as well. You know, spiritual warfare. We're gonna throw a little bit of that in here today.
Okay.
But what do you think about finance and budgeting?
Well, that is largely, there's deeper issues involved there. Some people, like my daughter, is very stingy with her money and she keeps a huge savings account. Other people, for money, when they get it, they go, whoopee, it's going to feel really good to go shopping. So we could talk to both of them about budgeting their money, but it's not going to change much until we look at the deeper drivers. What's going on underneath that? And that is about our relationship with money. So let's say I don't have a lot of meaning in my life. I have some emptiness, and I'm feeling kind of low most of the time. But when I go shopping, it just feels so good to buy new things, to reward myself. The shopping experience itself, having that thing or clothes or cars or whatever it is for the first time feels so good that if I say, hey, you need to budget yourself, it's like I'm asking them to stop smoking or something, because that thing you buy fills an empty hole in our hearts. On the other hand, somebody who's afraid of losing everything in the future and they don't reward themselves in the present, that's because they're fearful of everything in the future and they want to hoard as much money as they can. So budgeting is really a symptom of a deeper relationship with ourselves and our future and our relationship with money.
Well said, because I think a lot of people need to be budgeting and stuff, but people buy what they need. People don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. And
Yep.
that's the problem. That's when you overspend, you know. That's why I like the dollar store. Well, the dollar store ain't the dollar store no more because people be stealing out the stores. It's $1.25 now. I remember when chips was a quarter when I was little and everything.
Yeah. I remember, oh my gosh. Short story. I was driving across country as part of my business and stopped at a gas station, and the gas was like, oh, I don't remember, 90 cents a gallon. And I predicted that gas was going to go to over $1 a gallon. And the gas station attendant looked at me and says, that can never happen. I said, why not? Says, our machines only go to $1 or only go to 99 cents. So little did he appreciate that the machines would be fixed so that they could go to a higher price.
Be price gouges and they trying to get as much money out of the consumer as they possibly can.
Yes. And that's their job, to price things as high as they possibly can for the consumer and to make as much profit as they can. And so our job as a consumer is to say, okay, how do I want to live my life? What things give me pleasure and satisfaction now? Am I going to take care of the future Dion? The Dion that's now 70 years old. Or am I just going to let him take care of himself out there and I'm not going to take care of him now? And those are the questions that really make a difference in our lives. And if I look at my life and how I've taken care of it, it's a real big reward because now I don't have to worry. The young 20-year-old Rich took good care of me and I appreciate him.
They called that 20-year-old Richie Rich.
Richie Rich. Not at that time. When I got out of college, I had to borrow money from my girlfriend. But
are y'all still together?
Yeah, I married her and I've never paid her back.
Oh yeah, you gonna have to pay her back eventually, man.
Oh,
One of these days, she gonna ask for that money back,
oh
man.
man, she's um uh yeah, I've paid her back many times over the years. So it's all good. I just joke about never paying her back.
So, what do you think about Americans not saving money? Because they say majority of Americans don't have any savings account,
Yeah,
or
it's
they have like, a little money in their savings account now, so they're not gonna really have money set up for the future anymore.
oh well, you're asking a really hard question, but you're asking the right hard question. Uh, the way the inflation is, the way how much of the economy the government absorbs, and and a skill change to technology and what is valued by people, those shifts are leaving a lot of people in jobs that don't cover their expenses. You know, when I grew up, my dad had a normal job. We had one car. We owned a house, and we could take a vacation once a year. You know, and now we've got two people working in a family, and it's still hard to cover expenses sometimes. So we've got a shifting economy. Technology is shifting. Our attitudes are shifting. Like my grandparents came to this country, they saved 10% of their income. They gave 10% to the church. And my grandpa had to work 3 jobs in order just to feed the family. My dad reported having lard sandwiches for dinner sometimes. They were so poor that it was hard to get during the Depression. It was hard to put food on the table. So the question then is, so they were able to do that, but we've had a big psychology shift also. You know, given the Depression era mentality of we have to be really careful, we don't spend excess money, we save, we tithe to the church. That is not, that attitude has been lost by most of the younger generation. And as a result, their pleasure comes through spending money as a way of creating satisfaction in their life sometimes. So, you know, those people, I'd love to talk to them. In fact, I wrote a book, A Private Conversation with Money, to help people with their relationship to money.
Yeah, so that's well said, Richard. A lot of young people don't like to save money and stuff. But why do you think that spiritual warfare is important to talk about?
Well, what you're talking about is spirituality in my world is us, rather than just looking me and you down here, we have higher aspirations. We have a higher ethic, a higher morality. We have something, we know we're sinners. We know we're fallible as human beings. But if we can look to something higher and constantly aspire to that, that gives us meaning in life. And not only that, that gives us behavioral guidelines. And those behavioral guidelines on be kind, love one another, be generous, and work to deliver value to others, those are really valuable. And as you well know, the religion in most people's lives is not as great as it used to be. The people who go to church and who are religious, those numbers are dropping rapidly. So if we lose that higher level, then what do we do for meaning? And a lot of people then look to buy things and have things that give them status or respect.
Well said, Richard, man. And why do you think the world is falling apart?
Oh,
And also a follow up question: why do you think people hate each other and always jealous of people and stuff? It's like we all trying to make it out here, you know. That's another problem that I have too with the earth we live in today, the world and people.
yeah. Why is the world falling apart? Oh boy. Have you got a couple of hours? We could talk about this, and I would love to get your impression also. But what I think is we've moved after World War II. My dad came home from the war. I was the first thing he made was me after getting home. And so my wife and I have lived in a magical world, a world that the economy, for the most part, was moving forward. People had jobs. We could save money and put them in our retirement accounts. But now I look at the world and it's very different. And what has changed? I think, as I mentioned, a loss of spirituality and religion. I think that our media has moved from reporting what they see and analyzing it to supporting different points of view. I mean, I have friends on the liberal side who do nothing but watch CNN and MSNBC and read the New York Times. Their world is just different than my conservative friends who watch Fox News, read the Epoch Times, and listen to Tucker Carlson. Their world and what's happening in their worlds is totally different. So as a result, if you go to this one or this one, the people over here seems crazy because the worlds we live in are so different. So that's, one issue. And I think that our politicians are dividing us because that they think that will help them get elected. And there is so much money in politics, and the corruption in politics across the board is so huge that we've lost faith in our government. So what do we have faith in? So we develop a faith in our particular group and community that supports our belief systems. And then that's different from somebody else who supports their community and their belief systems. So we're not talking to each other. We're just fighting with each other.
Well, I would say it's a pleasure having you on today, Richard, because I got to shorten the interview because some problems I'm having right now. But I would definitely like to have you on again to actually follow up with that question.
Okay.
So it's to be continued. Sorry I had to shorten the interview, man.
Okay. Well, we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.